You might be asking yourself, who are the best players on Georgia this year? And what importance, maybe rank, some may say, do the position groups have for you? Well, guess what? Daniel and I are going to answer the question, what are the best position groups for Georgia in 2025? Next, Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. He is Clint. I am Daniel. Today's episode brought to you by our friends over at Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. More on our friends at Game Time in a moment. We're the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. So happy to have you here. Thanks for being a first listener. Thanks for being an everydayer. If you stay all the way to the end, a loyal third segment listener, part of the 199, we really appreciate you. And Clint, we're weeks away from Georgia football. We understand we are weeks away from Georgia football.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to have week 0 locks. We're going to have some season win totals we're going to go through. We're going to do a touchdown draft where we're going to draft non-quarterback Georgia players and we're for who scores the most touchdowns. There's a lot that we're going to get to. Fall camp news is continuing to come in. We're going to continue to keep you updated of everything that we hear on that front. So fear not there. But Clint, today on the show, we're going to kind of get a lay of the land. Okay. We're going to get a big picture view of who this team is. And the best way that we could think of to do that, we mentioned on yesterday's show, is we're going to kind of go position group by position group, starting with what we think is the strongest unit on the squad. Like, this is our bell cow. This is the thing that we're going to hang our hat on. This is the thing that at the end of the day, we know is going to come through. And then we're going to work our way down all the way to the weakest position group on the squad. Now, for the sake of clarity, these are the position groups we're going to go with: quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, running back, offensive line, 5 on offense.
Great. Defensive
line, linebacker, corner, safety, and edge, 5 on offense or on defense.
He's not listing the list right now. He's saying this is the field from which we are choosing for.
Sorry. Yes, these are the field. And then as an 11th group, Clint, we go specialist.
Specialist, yeah.
Okay. So specialists are their own position group. That includes kickers, who we have a pretty good idea of who the 2 kickers are going to be.
We do.
And returners.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned in case there is comment from me about the return game.
Should we get to the don't
Is
sleep
it Friday yet?
Is it Friday?
Okay. Longtime listeners of the show will understand that reference. If not, excited to have you for a full season of Locked On Bulldogs.
You'll get there.
All right, Clint. Out of the gate, I think we feel pretty good about number 1 on the list. Okay. So
you do.
I'm not going to bury the lead any further. We're going to start at the top. The number 1 position group on this roster is the linebackers. It is not a question.
Guys,
there's a chance that the 3rd best linebacker on this team is the best player at any other position.
Yes. Regardless,
you understand what I'm saying?
Just rating and skill-wise and ability, take it, but positionless. A Tom Crean approach to football.
Here we go. Finally, somebody gets it.
You just all of a sudden, it could be the 3 linebackers are 1, 2, and 3 on this team.
Yeah. And it's obviously a 4-headed monster, 2 of whom are very experienced, Raylan Wilson and CJ Allen. Full disclosure, we love both of them. We're high on both those guys. We think that they have certain skills. We don't want to see CJ Allen in coverage.
Nope.
We love when he runs downhill at a ball carrier.
Down, I love CJ Allen.
And then you got Justin Williams and Chris Cole, the 2 newcomers, true sophomores, played a ton on special teams last year. Chris Cole, more of a jack of all trades. You're going to see him in coverage. We think he's going to play some star this year. You've seen him line up at various positions. You're going to see him on a tight end over the middle. You're going to see him rushing the passer. You're going to see him in a lot of different looks. And then Justin Williams might end up being the best pass rusher on this year's team. Clint, it's not a linebackers episode, but this is the best unit on the field.
Okay. We have an opportunity to watch, of those 4 you just listed, 4 first rounders are a high possibility.
They'll all be in the NFL, no doubt. Not a doubt in my mind.
We have 4 NFL starting caliber linebackers.
Yeah.
On this year's team.
Speaking of, gosh, a digression, but I did see this comment. Speaking of NFL starting caliber players.
Here we go.
Where can I go to place a wager on which week of the season Stetson Fleming Bennett will be the starting quarterback for an NFL team?
Because here's the deal. Either Matthew Stafford's back finally seizes up completely. Which
and we're not wishing that on him.
No,
we are wishing a
we
happy
love that.
retirement and a lovely rest of his life.
I want you to continue. I want you to come back like Jake. I want you to have influence on we love Matthew Stafford. No ill will whatsoever. No. It just happens that either Stetson Bennett will take the mantle from one UGA great to another UGA great, which is fantastic, or a NFL team calls the Rams up and says, how about we give you a first and a second and a player to be named so that we can get that guy starting for us.
I promise you the first NFL quarterback to go down with an injury, the Rams are getting a phone call. I promise you. The first one, the starter, to go down with an injury, that team's getting on the horn and talking to the Rams.
Why wouldn't you?
Stetson Fleming Bennett will be a starter in the NFL. And golly, it just keeps, the story just keeps writing itself. Clint, the second best position group on this roster. I'm going to let you go. Where are you taking us next?
This is a tough one for me.
It's tough.
I see 3 contending position groups for the second. So I think I have 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, you want to talk it out?
Let's talk it out.
Let's talk it out. We're to come to a consensus here.
Let us. Mm-hmm. I think the 2, 3, and 4 before we get to 5, Daniel, are the defensive line, wide receivers, and secondary. Daniel, those are my 2, 3, and 4. I ask you, who are your 2, 3, and 4 to get out of? Who's the field to take number 2 out of?
I think that.
Now, secondary, I said it's corner and safety. So I said secondary as a whole. I said defensive line, so it's
right.
Interior.
Separating corner and safety, by the way.
We are. I know.
Okay.
So I'm talking field.
Which one are you throwing out there?
Corner.
You're throwing corner.
I'm throwing corner.
Okay. I would agree with you on that.
Great. Okay.
I would replace wide receiver with specialists as a contender in this tier of position groups.
That's interesting on 2, 3, and 4. I don't have a problem with that at all.
I think it's defensive line, Clint. I think number 2 is defensive line.
It's defensive line.
Okay. This is going to be the front 7 that Georgia has had since 2021. Period. This will be the best front 7 Georgia's had since 2021.
Kristen Miller is going to be a headache matchup nightmare all year long. I've taken Kristen Miller. Is there anybody else on the interior defensive line that you would like to suggest?
I can't think of anyone whose name I've literally said more than the name of some of my children this offseason. Okay. I can't tell you guys enough. Jordan Hall is a freak. He's going to be a menace. Elijah Griffin is going to play. People.
Not fourth quarter. Significant crunch time play.
No, he's going to play. And then you got guys that you bring back. McLeod, you bring back a solid player. There's plenty of guys. Joseph Jonah Ajayi. You've got plenty of young, talented players that I expect to step up. I think this defensive front has got versatility. I think they're nasty, Clint. I think they are potentially the most dominant unit. You mentioned there might be 4 first rounders in the linebacking room. I can tell you that there are definitely 3 first rounders on this defensive line. and maybe 4.
Yep.
Depending on how Jonah Ajayi plays,
Correct.
there's maybe 4 out here. So to me, it's the defensive line, and it's not really particularly close.
I want to just ask you quickly, easily. Can you remember a time that Georgia had the 2 best units on its team was the linebackers and the defensive line, Daniel?
I do. They broke some records in the NFL draft, I believe. But before that, a soon-to-be starting quarterback in the NFL won his first national championship.
Ooh, that's wildly interesting. We're going to come back after this. We're going to give you 3, 4, and 5. But first, these. These are, in fact, game time. We've all been there trying to get those seats and the concert tickets that go on sale for maybe your significant other, your daughter, a gift, a son, and you need to make it happen. Live music should be about making memories, not dealing with stress of ticket shopping. Game time comes in right here. Prices actually drop the closer you get to showtime, and you can save up to 60% off with their killer last-minute deals. Are you worried about if your plans change and you got the tickets and what happens? Game Time Guarantee has your back with cancellation, protection, and more. Take the good work out of buying concert and show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
All right, Clint, I'll let you pick number 3 on the list. We're looking at corners, wide receivers, specialists, or the position groups that have been thrown out there. Where are we going with number 3?
I don't know if this is anticlimactic to some, but 3 and 4 are real close to me.
Okay.
I think
2 for 1 special.
I think they are so close, and it's unsexy to say how close they are because the specialist team for me, Daniel, is comprised of game-changing guys.
Yeah.
Now, once more, when Georgia had its at its best, we had a kicker who would come on and drill it from 56. Yep. We had a punter who would flip the field for that great linebacking and defensive line core.
Yep.
And we had returners who got positive net yards. And let me tell you this, we have 2 of those 3 things back. The third thing that we have back is a vast improvement on any return guy we have ever seen at Georgia. You've heard me. I know the name you're thinking of. Branch might be better than he is or was.
Yeah. It's
like, I want to say specialist, Daniel. My gut tells me 3 is corner. Am I wrong?
No, well, let's just say 3 and 4 is corner and specialist. I don't hate either of these. We'll talk about specialists first because it's a quick conversation. Georgia got the best punter in the country. Georgia got one of the best kickers in the country. Brett Thorson and Peyton Woodring are bona fide weapons. Do you know how many punts were returned against Georgia? Like how many net punt return yards there were against Georgia last year? It was like 20 for the season. Okay. Do you know how bad the offense was? Do you know how many times we punted? It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Peyton Woodring is a weapon in the kicking game. And then you add a guy like Zachariah Branch, who literally, again, he wasn't always playing for some pretty bad quarterbacks at times. He wasn't always amazing, electric at USC as a wide receiver. But as a returner from day one in his career, he has been electric. If you put the ball in this guy's hands and he gets a little sliver of grass, he can do things that most people cannot do. Georgia is a weapon on special teams this year. And if you don't think that Kirby Smart thinks that's sexy, you don't have any idea about this man, Kirby Smart. Like he cares about it deeply. Let's move to corner. We mentioned on yesterday's show. I think we got 3 legit corners. Okay. One of them is a potential all SEC, potential first round draft pick corner. I believe that is a legitimate possibility. And that's wild given where we've been. And then on the other side, you got Daniel Harris, who again came in mid-season. He was splitting reps. And then the Tennessee game, Julio gets pulled, and Daniel Harris goes in. He never looks back. I like what he brings. He brings a toughness and a physicality at corner. But you want to talk about a guy who's got the size, who's got the athleticism, who's got the speed, who's skilled like Dalen Everett and nasty like Daniel Harris, and yet more talented than both of them. His name's Ellis Robinson, and I think he's going to have a big year this year. And so I don't hate corner at all. Georgia doesn't have any concerns to me at corner. No concerns. I mean,
zero. Okay.
There are
this
not.
Is the,
yeah.
This is the first time in years we've had this quote problem where it's always been one has been locked down for us. I think that's safe to say. Ever since DeAndre Baker, we've said, okay, great, here we go. We have one corner that we can take away half the field. This year we have 3 of those dudes, because you were beginning to talk about how there is a guy who's a first round all SEC type player. And I was like, okay, cool. So where does Everett slot after him? Because I'm thinking you're talking about Ellis Robinson. Now, I joke because Everett's going to have that type of year, I do believe.
Yeah, he's going to get drafted in the first round. I really believe that.
Yes. We talk about Daniel Harris. I think people forget 6'2", 185.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Physically, he's got some things you can't teach.
He got things, and he comes up in the run game. I think is what's so critical to me about these corners. We can put them on islands and say, take away that guy in front of you. Okay, great. We're gonna have to do that a couple times this year. Alabama, Texas. Okay.
You got to do it against Tennessee week 3. That's the Josh Heupel offense. Literally, Josh Heupel has made every dollar he's ever made putting your corners on islands and trusting that they can't hang.
Correct.
Out there. You got to do that to defend Josh. That's why Kirby dominates Heupel.
Correct. And this year we got 3 of those guys to take away. Oh, sure, you might have depth at wide receiver. Maybe one of your guys is really, really, really talented. Okay, let's go ahead and slot KJ Bolden to that side, or we put Maddox over there on that side and roll coverage to him.
That Alabama game, you better believe there's going to be a lot of safety help over the top.
A lot of safety. I don't care who's got.
There better be. I promise you this. There better be.
If I see Maddox 8 yards off the ball and I see Everett start in a back pedal, I'm going to hyperventilate. I'm just telling you this right now. Cornerback is a bona fide stud group for us. I have no concern about it. I have absolute faith in it. Not only can they get island, but they can come up with a run. Every one of these guys. This is why somebody else is at A&M now. Not only because he got blown up in coverage, but because he was not willing to come down on the angle and take away the outside leg.
Soft. The word that you're looking for is soft. At this point, I'm good going wide receiver next, Clint.
Okay.
And so if we're in a chord there, I think we go wide receiver next, which is nice because that we're now to unit number 5 and we got into the first offensive group.
Cool.
I feel good. Do you feel good? I feel great. Do you feel good? I feel
literally.
Great. I feel like I'm talking a lot.
I'm talking a lot. I don't know through my hand. How's my face? What is
wide receiver? Listen, we all know it was the weak link of the entire team last year.
Yes, it was.
It was a huge issue. Do you know what Kirby Smart did? He went out and he addressed that issue. We've belabored this point in the offseason. Zachariah Branch is going to be really good. Colby Young coming back is the most underrated thing that happened this offseason, bar none. Also, by the way, we got Noah Thomas, who is the leading touchdown scorer for Texas A&M. Also, by the way, we got 2 all-world blue-chip wide receivers coming in as true freshmen. Both of them are going to be very good. Also, finally, Dylan Bell isn't expected to be a do-everything wide receiver, and so he'll be able to be used creatively and in a versatile way, coming off of screens. You know, I love Dylan Bell in a bubble. Like a bubble screen. I love Dylan Bell. He doesn't have elite speed.
No.
But you put the ball in his hands, he going to put his shoulder into you, and he going to get some yards now. Like
in a short distance, you stack him, Colby Young in front of him, do a quick little screen out there.
I
and
love
do a 2-on-1. Come on.
Georgia's got the ability to stretch the field in the passing game. They have not had that in previous years. I know they've had very speedy wide receivers but they could not catch the ball. Georgia's got the ability to capitalize on first downs in the passing game, be efficient in the passing game. The whole route tree is open, Clint. I'm talking about 2 wide sets, 3 wide sets, 4 wide sets.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 5 wide sets.
Yep.
It's not a 0 chance. And normally with a Mike Bobo University of Georgia offense, if you said, what are the odds you're going to see a 5 wide set? A 0. It's a 0. And I'm talking about 5 true wide receivers, no tight ends, no backs. So, like, I'm not talking about Oscar Delp split out wide. I'm not talking about Nate Frazier split out wide. I'm talking about 5 wide receivers in a package. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, but I can tell you this. Georgia's got the horses to do it if they wanted to. If they wanted to get nuts.
Let's get crazy.
What about 5 wide QB draw? Like, what about just like, I'm telling you, there's just a lot of creative things that this Georgia offense has got going for it because
what about a little motion with Dylan Bell? Right. Little satellite bubble, little RPO with him.
Yeah.
A little. Hey, okay. He
Comes back out into the backfield, and then all of a sudden we got a little read option coming off of that little RPO. Oops,
little RPO.
Look, running a little go.
There it is, right there.
Yeah. There's options. There's versatility. I love this wide receiver room. All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna rattle off the remaining position groups on the roster, but first these.
We did get to the offensive side of the ball finally with number 5. Daniel, let's continue going with the rest of these 6 through 10. Who is the 6th best unit in your mind for this coming 2025?
6, I got running back. I'm going to go running back. And again, it's a smaller group.
Yes.
And I almost said it's a 2-man group, but it's not. It's a 3-man group.
It's 2.5 right now.
Yeah, well, Cash Jones a full man, Clint. So like, let's just credit where credit's due
on his name.
Yeah, that's right. So we know that Nate Frazier and McCray are going to be good. It's been well documented how we feel about them.
Yes,
Cash Jones offers something to this offense that, like, he's an amazing third down option. He is a great, like, change of pace, like, out of the passing game, picking up a block, or releasing on wheel out of the backfield. Like, he offers some things. If Roderick Robinson comes back, there may be some carries for him. If Chauncey Bowens emerges, there may be some carries for him. There's plenty, but you don't need more than 2 backs carrying the ball.
Nope.
And Georgia's got him. So to me, it's running back next. And then I would probably swing back to the defensive side of the ball and go safety. I don't know. What do you think? Is that where you'd go next?
That's where I would go, because look, I think we are not giving. Look, here's safety could be at 7, or by the end of the year it could be at 3, depending on how Aguero plays. Period. I think Maddox. If you look at his ratings, Maddox last year was one of the top 10 safeties in the nation. He is this year's Tyke Smith.
Yeah.
Like, transferring in already an established name, already a performance guy, already a guy who's proved it, but wants to take the next step up, better competition, better coaching, better draft capital. That's what he's doing. Maddox can play. I think he is the other safety. KJ Bolden, all SEC guy who right now coaches love and are throwing everything onto him. If Aguero locks down the third safety / star, because there'll be some rotation depending on the package that we're in. But if he can play like we thought he was going to, when Garcia, our recruiting guy that we love, said that he was the most exciting player in that recruiting cycle for Georgia. If he gets to that ceiling, this safety group is now extraordinary.
There are a lot of very smart people who think the best player on Georgia's football team plays safety.
Correct.
So, like, it's not a stretch to say that they could be much higher than this on the list, but I think I have them here for right now, and it is a lot of concern at the star position. I do still believe in what Aguero's got and the capacity that he's got, and so I like them there. It's tricky for me here, Clint, because the position groups that we have left are tight end, edge, offensive line, quarterback. These are the 4 groups that we have left.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you this. I know who it's not.
That's yeah.
But like we'll get to them later. So I think at this point, I will tell you, I am back and forth between tight end and quarterback at this point. And so I think in some order, you're going to have those two groups. And I'd probably give the slight edge to tight end because I think Oscar Delp is one of the most underrated players on Georgia's team.
Yep.
If utilized correctly, Oscar Delp might be a monster this year. He might be an absolute monster. He's already a monster in the run game. He's already a physical force on the offensive line. And he's got help this year.
Yes.
It's not just Lawson Lucky, but there's a lot of very talented names that I think have an opportunity to play. But I think that connection between Oscar Delp and Gunnar Stockton is going to prove to be big. I think if Georgia's going to run the ball well, the tight end group is going to have to play well. But then I go quarterback and Gunnar Stockton. And I mean, when you put him at 9th on the list out of 11 position groups, it makes it sound like, stop me if you've heard this before, no one respects Georgia's quarterback position.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You said safety might be 7th right now. By the end of the year, they might be 3rd. What's the highest that quarterback could get to on this list by the end of the year? Give me a best case scenario.
Look, Daniel, we
because
got like
somebody else on our team has to move down. Like that's how this works, guys. Like
we got like 20 some odd days, 19 days.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. I'm getting into a lather.
We're beginning to like eat off our own leg at this point. Like we are in
the energy that we got going back and forth, the text chain, the how about them dogs chain, like everything is just ramping up. And with Georgia, I am easily influenced when it comes to Georgia excitement. Okay.
I can confirm. This man will follow you. I mean, you gotta give him a sideways glance, and he's ready.
And I'm like,
he's ready to go.
Say no more.
Say less.
Okay,
I'm in.
Say less. I'm in. Gunnar Stockton has the ability to be the second best on this list, Daniel. And I mean that because of two things. And stop me if you've heard this of another team. A guy who is incredibly nimble, mobile, and runs the ball and then hucks it up deep.
I'm
not saying he's Milroe.
Thank
and I don't
God.
want Milroe.
Yeah, right. Somebody might draft him then, so that's good. But they invited him to the green room. That was the embarrassing part, Clint.
That's on you.
That's on your agent. Fire that agent right now.
Immediately. You should have declined. I am otherwise occupied. Yes. But I am legitimately telling you, Gunnar Stockton could be the guy that you look down at the stat sheet and he's 12 of 15 for 220 yards.
Yeah, 275.
Yeah, right. Like the average yards per attempt is just sky high.
29 and a half.
Right. And ran for 85 yards and 2 tuds.
Yeah.
Like that could legitimately be his stat line on a weekly basis, which would immediately put him as a dang good SEC quarterback, dang good quarterback in the nation.
Yeah. All right, last two groups, Clint. I won't make any bones about it. I got Edge next.
Yeah.
Gabe Harris and Elo Mendoza. Those are your guys, right? And listen, people are high on this Army transfer. People are excited about him. And you pair him with Gabe Harris, and I think Gabe Harris is a legit player. And so I do think that there are guys. I do think that there are weapons on that edge. Boy, would I like to see a freshman rise up on that edge. Boy, would I like to see a freshman, one in particular, rise up.
Make me say things I'll regret.
On that edge, I won't regret. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. I got Edge next. I am excited for. It's hard to get excited about an Army transfer.
It is.
But I think this dude's a dog. And we'll see when he gets on the field. We shall see. And then I don't know how you don't rank this offensive line last. Right now, based on how am I supposed to not rank them last on this unit?
We still don't know who the number one player on offensive line is.
Just tell me, Georgia fans, if I'm wrong, which group on Georgia's team you think is worse than them. So, if I'm a hater for putting them last, you tell me which group on your team is worse. Somebody's got to be last. So that's our position group rankings. Let us know in the comments where we're right, where we're wrong, what your thoughts are. And we'll see. We'll do a postseason one of these and maybe compare some notes, and we'll see how we did. Gunnar Stockton second on the list.
I promise nothing after the season because it might end in me.
Yeah, you're right. We may be off the grid.
That's what I'm saying, Daniel.
This podcast may be hosted by M-Dubs and Randy by the time the season's over. There's literally no telling where we're going to get to.
Might be an improvement for you guys.
I promise you it won't be worse. He's Clint. I am Daniel. For now, we are your hosts of the Lockdown Bulldogs podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.